A very good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News. I'm Katharina Chang and let's take a look at what's making headlines. Number of deaths as a result of accidents reported from the 10th of this month today rises to 38. Gale winds causes property damage in Kurunegala. One killed after shots were fired at a house during a private party in Ambalangoda. 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games medals unveiled. The police state that road accidents from the 10th of this month up to date have resulted in the death of 28 persons. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohan stated that 34 fatal accidents were reported during this time period. Speaking to Newsfirst, he said that despite creating awareness through the use of various forms of media in order to prevent accidents, 400 accidents have been recorded by the police during this festive period alone, and that they hope to conduct further raids in order to nab drivers who are under the influence of alcohol. And on to other local news. The following are the auspicious time as determined by the New Year Committee of the Department of Cultural Affairs for the anointing of the head with oil and for leaving work.
The auspicious time for the anointing of the head with oils is 11:16 a.m. on Wednesday the 16th of April, while the auspicious colour for attire is green and the auspicious direction south. The auspicious time to set off to work has been determined to be 6:16 a.m. on Thursday the 17th of April, while the auspicious attire should be of a golden colour. The auspicious meal has been determined to be milk rice mixed with sesame and jaggery, while the auspicious direction is west.
Astronomers say that the planet Mars will be bright and visible in the night sky today in close proximity to the moon today. However, Professor Chandan Jayaratne of the Department of Physics of the University of Colombo said the lunar eclipse will take place this afternoon and will not be visible to Sri Lanka.
The total lunar eclipse takes place on 15th around 10:24 Sri Lankan Standard Time. And ends up at 4:08 p.m. However, this eclipse is not visible to Sri Lanka because it is the daytime and it is visible only to the countries in American continent and also to those countries. And there will be another total lunar solar eclipse 14 days later, that is on April 29th, and it starts at 11:28 a.m. Sri Lankan Standard Time. And this takes place in the southern part of the Indian Ocean, closer to the Antarctica, so that the countries in Antarctica and particularly the Australia and edge of Indonesia.
One person was killed and another was injured after shots were fired at a party in the Livingston Wattat area in Ambalangoda. Now, the police stated that the shooting took place at around 9:30 last night. One of the injured died upon admission at the Pulvatta hospital. The police added that the shooter had fled the scene and investigations are underway to apprehend the suspect. Strong winds which swept across Kurunegala had caused a number of damages to property yesterday. Strong winds swept through the Kurunegala town at around 8:30 last night. A tree uprooted and fell onto the complaints unit at the Kurunegala police, causing damage to the structure. The roof of a 3-story building of the John Kutalavala Vidyalaya in Kurunegala was damaged by the strong winds. A lorry which was parked in close proximity to the Road Development Authority of the Northwestern Province was also damaged. A tree which fell atop a house in the Vilgoda area in Kurunegala was also left damaged. Meanwhile, 8 houses in the Uskalsiambalangamoyaya 2 area was damaged when strong gusts swept past the area at around 7 last evening. Our correspondent stated that the roof of one of the houses was completely destroyed. Electricity was also disrupted owing to a fallen tree. It has been reported that power in the area has not been restored as yet. According to the Department of Meteorology, showers or thundershowers will develop in several places across the island, particularly in the western, southern, Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces. The Deputy Director of the Department of Meteorology, Ajit Vijayman, said that the public should take precaution to prevent lightning-related accidents.
Showers or thunder showers will develop at several places over the island, particularly in the western, southern, Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces during the afternoon or evening. A few showers can be expected in the coastal areas from Puttalam to Galle via Colombo during the morning too. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers, and general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damage caused by lightning activities.
The Department of Examinations says that the accepting of applications for recorrection of the GCE Ordinary Level Examination will conclude from the 25th of this month.
We have made provision to forward applications for recorrection until the 25th of this month. Applicants are requested to forward the applications requesting for recorrection to the Department of Examinations via registered post through the post office. They can make the payments through the post office. The post officers will not accept any payment made after the 25th. Applications too will not be accepted after that day. Therefore, applicants are kindly requested to forward their applications before the 25th of April to the Department of Examinations.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources say that the Indo-Sri Lankan fishermen discussions will be held next month. Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Rajitha Senaratne stated that the Fisheries Association as well as the Fisheries Authority from both countries will participate in the discussion.
Meanwhile, 26 fishermen have been taken into custody by the Sri Lankan Navy for using prohibited fishing gear while fishing. The police state that these fishermen were handed over to the Trincomalee Harbour Police for further investigation. These fishermen were released on a surety bail of 50,000 rupees after being produced before the Trincomalee Magistrates Court yesterday. The fishermen were residents of Kenya. The case will be taken up once again on the 12th of next month.
And now taking back a look at one of our headline-making news in the local arena, Sri Lankans who celebrated the dawn of the new year yesterday approached passenger transport services to visit their relatives in other areas. Passengers who arrived at Petta Central bus stand yesterday, however, charged that there were no sufficient amount of buses in operation.
There is no decrease in the number of persons who make trips during this festive season to visit their loved ones and relatives in other areas. This morning, the Newsfirst team visited the Petta Central bus stand to inquire as to whether the passenger transport service was being implemented to the requirements of the commuters. Newsfirst contacted the Deputy Chairman of the Sri Lanka Transport Board, L.A. Vimalaratna, in this regard.
We have given instructions to the Sri Lanka Transport Board to carry out the bus transport services smoothly in Petta. There's a less amount of buses today when compared to previous days. We have taken measures to arrange bus services for those in the bus stations.
Newsfirst also visited the private bus stand in Bastin Mawatha, Petta. This was the situation this morning at the Fort Railway Station.
Up next is your sports news. The gold, silver and bronze medals for the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games were unveiled to the public yesterday.
The medals were on display at the Kevin Grove Art Gallery to mark 100 days to the opening ceremony on the 23rd of July. The Games will feature athletes from 71 countries and territories across the Commonwealth, a grouping that consists mainly of former British colonies. The Games have a budget of just over £470 million and organisers aim to raise £100 million through commercial deals, tickets, sponsorship, broadcast deals and merchandising. The sum involved are modest compared with Olympics. London organisers raised £700 million through one-off sponsorship for the Games last year. The Commonwealth Games run from the 23rd of July to the 3rd of August.
Now making headlines around the world, the prosecutors in the Oscar Pistorius murder trial accused the track star of using emotional breakdowns under cross-examination to evade answering questions about the night he killed his girlfriend. Oscar Pistorius left the court after an emotional day yesterday, which saw him break down in the dock a few times as State Prosecutor Gary Neal probed him about the events leading to him shooting dead his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day last year.
Then I got to the bed and then I realized Reva wasn't there. I got off, if you look at the bed at the right hand side, I got off the bed. I stuck my left hand out and I tried to feel the curtains, hoping maybe she was hiding behind them. And then I started panicking because I realized that Reva wasn't just replying to me. She wasn't, I couldn't see her and I couldn't hear her. So I went back to the bathroom as quick as I could and I got back to the entrance of the bathroom. I was screaming, I started to scream out for her. I was scared entering the bathroom again.
State Prosecutor Jerry Nell said that it was strange that he did not look to see if Reva Steenkamp had left his bedroom after he shot at what he thought was an intruder. Nell questioned why Pistorius would get upset when being asked about whether he did or did not open the doors leading from his bedroom to a balcony to shout for help minutes after the shooting.
You see, Mr. Pistorius, this is one of the crucial issues that makes your version totally improbable. If you looked for Reva, because you looked for Reva, why did you go back to look for Reva?
As I said in my evidence, my lady, as I got to the bed and I realized Reva wasn't on the bed, that was the first time that I realized maybe it could have been her in the bathroom.
Is it about what happened or is it about the questions and your frustration in answering them? Because now we dealt with nothing but your version. Why are you getting emotional?
It's emotional memories for me.
No, it's not. You're getting frustrated because your version is improbable and you're getting emotional. We haven't spoken about Reva, we haven't spoken about anything now, but you're getting emotional. Why?
On that note, we conclude this edition of Lunchtime News. It was an absolute pleasure having you with us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Katharina Chang. Have a lovely day ahead.